Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and call this workshop to order for Monday, April 21st at 4 p.m. Please call the roll.
Amazon,
Here.
Collins,
Here.
Reese,
Here.
Wilson.
Here. Can we get the approval of the agenda for the workshop, please?
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Reese,
Collins.
second by Commissioner Collins. Okay. All right, call the roll.
Amazon,
Aye.
Collins,
Aye.
Reese,
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye. Okay, Madam Clerk, read into the record for the item of discussion we're gonna have for the workshop.
Yes, sir. The first item for discussion is relating to noise complaints.
Okay. We don't have a time schedule on the, neither the noise complaints or the chicken complaints, but we're diving into the noise ordinance.
And Mayor and Commissioners, I apologize. There's some informational backup. It should be provided regarding the noise and regarding the noise complaints. It's a thicker packet from our code enforcement officer.
Okay,
We do have a public comment whenever you're wanting to entertain them.
so noted. So let's go ahead and we'll just open up with comments from the dais first. And then we'll have staff, I guess Mr. Kramer, Mr. Dardale, the city manager, if they want to briefly make comments. And then we'll hear from the audience, then we'll go back in. There's a lot of moving parts on this. I think one of the biggest complaints we've gotten in the last 2 years has been the noise problem. Seemed to be evolution that we don't seem to have an answer for. And somehow we gotta have some teeth into our current ordinance to move forward. I know I get a lot of calls, my colleagues, you guys get calls, and we just gotta come up with some answers and think outside the box. So I'm gonna start and yield to my vice mayor, and then I'll work my way around to Commissioner Collins, then Commissioner Reese, then I get the city manager and staff. Vice Mayor, you've been recognized.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank everybody for putting this on the workshop agenda. It's something that's, I know you had a history with certain residents. I had a history with about, probably starting 3 years ago, but this has been an ongoing issue in our city for a while. We do have to come up with a solution for this, work together, hear our citizens, because we need to be respectful and mindful of everybody here. We also need to be respectful in mind because we want to make sure if somebody gets a permit for something, that they may be exempt or that they follow those guidelines, those hours strictly. Let it be a car tent, whatever, and he's doing, speaking out loud, promoting his cars or something, so at that nature or other things like that. But I mean, it's getting back to the noise is something that we need to address. I don't know what's the solution. I see they provided some samples. I was going over them right now. Some fines, a warning at the beginning, and then we got to get fines, and then we have to, I don't know if it's in our right or in our officers' right to confiscate equipment at a certain time, because if this is happening at 12 o'clock at midnight or whatever, if they're out of regulations, and the officer keeps coming and keeps coming back, and all they do is keep on with the music, I don't know what the solution is, but, I'm here to hear everybody out. We know this is a concern for our community, and we're here to address it. So I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. And now we'll go ahead and have Commissioner Collins for opening comments and also read the highlights of our ordinance as it stands today.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Just as Joaquin has stated, there is several complaints throughout the community about the noise ordinances. And, again, we, the dais, just need to come up with some form of a collaboration that would help enforce the noise ordinance so that, people can get rest and things can move forward in the city, and we won't continue to keep having conversation about, the noise. But reading into the record, it says, it is proposed that this commission consider the following amendments to our noise ordinance. The start time for enforcement shall begin at 9 p.m. A sound shall be considered disturbing if it can be heard from a distance of at least 50 feet. A permitting system shall be established through our business tax office. Prior to the issuance of a permit, written permission must be obtained from all residents within a 300-foot radius. If at any point during the permitted event, one of the signatories of the permission letter submits a complaint, the volume must be adjusted to their satisfaction or the event will be required to cease. A fine of up to $500 shall be imposed for any violation of this ordinance. We recognize that these violations typically occur outside of normal working hours. Therefore, we will implement an on-call schedule to ensure staff availability for responding to and investigating alleged violations. In cases of repeated offenses, a code enforcement officer's schedule may be adjusted to allow for thorough investigation and evidence collection. If a violation is confirmed, a notice of violation and hearing will be issued and subsequently presented. Due to the irritable nature of harm caused by these violations, no remedy will be available following the infraction.
Thank you, Commissioner. And we'll follow up with Commissioner Reese for opening comments.
Should give hers. Did you give your opening comments?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Again, I think that we definitely need to just go ahead and move forward with this as the victim of high decimal noise. I think that we need to make sure our citizens can have peace in their home, not be disturbed by loud noises. I do know that there are some restrictions that's already in place for the state to get involved with the loud vehicles driving down the highway. And I think we just need to make sure that our law enforcement agencies are enforcing those laws. And I know it's indicated here that our code enforcement officers should be on duty to respond to, but I think that also need to be something we work out with PBSO to respond to these ordinances and give them the power to take action when they do. But again, I think we need to go ahead and push and move forward in establishing these ordinances so that we can give our citizens an avenue for loud noise in the community.
Thank you, Commissioner Reese. Now we yield the floor to our city manager for any comments you may wish to express and maybe designate any of your staff before we move into the audience comment, okay?
I'd like to just follow up on Commissioner Collins' comment. This is excellent. I think this is great. Whoever put this together did a good job.
Okay. Okay. Any of your staff, Mr. Kramer, Mr. Dardale, Deputy, you guys?
I do have a couple comments.
Yes.
But one of the things I will say, I don't know, just for the record, should we read the previous ordinance that we had in place?
Yes, on the record.
Okay, so noise control regulations. This article is enacted to protect, preserve, and promote the health, safety, welfare, peace, and quiet of the inhabitants and visitors of the city of Belle Glade through the reduction, control, and prevention of unreasonably loud, excessive, unnecessary, or unusual noise, or any noise which reasonably disturbs the peace, quiet, and comfort of neighboring citizens or visitors. Unreasonably loud, excessive, unnecessary, or unusual noise disturbs the peace and quiet and comfort of neighboring inhabitants and visitors and degrades the environment of the city to a degree that A, is harmful, or 1, is harmful to health, welfare, and safety of its inhabitants and visitors. 2, interferes with the comfortable enjoyment of life and property. 3, interferes with the well-being, tranquility, and privacy of the home. And 4, both causes and aggravates health problems. Both the effective control and the elimination of unreasonably loud, excessive, unnecessary, and unusual noise are essential to the health and welfare of the city's inhabitants and visitors, and to the conduct of the normal pursuits of life, including recreation, work, and communication. The city has a substantial interest in protecting citizens from unwelcome noise. I can go on to D, the use of sound amplification equipment and other sound sources create unreasonably loud, excessive, unnecessary, or unusual noise that may in particular manner and at a particular time and place substantially and unreasonably disturb the peace and quiet and comfort of inhabitants of and visitors of the city. The city has a substantial interest in protecting its merchants from unwelcome noise. It has an effect of preventing the transaction of the business due to unreasonably loud, excessive, and unnecessary or unusual noise. I can't find the part where it says the max time is permitted until 11 p.m. So after 11 is usually when we receive, or when PBSO starts receiving calls in the event of the music being too loud. But sometimes it can be during the day when the music is just really unreasonably loud and affecting, neighborhoods around. So what Mr. Dowdell put together is I think, a really, really good, there it is. So I'm reading a little part of the part where he found it. The operation of any sound device between the hours of 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. in such manner as to be plainly audible shall be primarily evidence of a violation of this section. So there it is. He has it well put together. So that's another thing to think about. Go ahead, Mr. Harold.
Mr. Mayor, the thing of it is, everybody in this room knows that when you call the sheriff's department, they respond. The people turn down the noise. When the deputies drive away, they turn it back up again. And it's not sometimes, it's every time. When the deputies respond, if they don't give them something in writing so that if they get called back again, then they're given a notice that they have to go to court or whatever. If there's not something in writing, if something's not implemented, it's going to continue. Every single time the deputies come, they turn the noise down. As soon as they get in their car and leave, they turn it back up. Every time.
Yep.
There has to be something put in place to where they're written up the first time, so that when they come back the second, third, fourth time, whatever, there's repercussions.
So as indicated, there are a lot of moving parts to this. City of Belle Glade been established since 1928. So, do we have examples from other communities? We probably need to get that as a start. But let's hear from the community at large now, and we'll start putting this puzzle together, because we're gonna have to do something, fast.
And I'm disappointed the sheriff's department doesn't have a representative here today.
Yeah, I kept looking over to my right. All right, let's start with the audience.
Our first comment is from Mr. Edward Garcia. Please step to the podium and state your name for the record.
Good afternoon. My name is Edward Garcia. First of all, I'd like to say thank you, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Vice Mayor, for answering my phone calls and my text every time. I've been going through this for over a year. I've been calling y'all, and like I said, I appreciate y'all answering and everything, but something seriously has to be done. I live at least a quarter of a mile away, and you can hear the music. As I've sent y'all the recordings, you can hear the music, plain and simple. And I don't care what time of the day it is. I shouldn't have to listen to it. Nobody else should have to listen to it. You listen to whatever you want to listen to, but that don't mean everybody else has to. As somebody was mentioning, the sheriff department gets called, they go, they show up, the music stops, it starts right back up maybe a day later or even that same day. I believe until somebody gets fined, their equipment gets taken away, something serious is done, this is going to continue. And after a year and a half, me personally, I've had enough of it. Had enough of it. I've had barbecues with my granddaughter's birthday, where my granddaughter actually had left because of the language and just the noise. She didn't want her kids listening to that kind of stuff, that language. I didn't want to listen to it, and I didn't want them listening to it. And enough is enough. I'm asking that y'all please take this serious and do something about it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next public comment is from Steve Messam.
Mr. Messer?
State your name for the record.
Good afternoon, Dias City Manager Steve Messam, 617 Southwest 10th Street. When it comes to the noise, depending on where you live, we have different, I guess, levels of the noise that we hear. I think most residents are lenient if there's like a death in someone's family. Folks are hanging out at night, they're playing music. We kind of understand, we're probably over there ourselves. But on regular evenings, it's usually like at nighttime when the noise can be more of a hindrance. When folks are either trying to sleep, folks are trying to get work done. Just recently, I've noticed an uptick on Friday evenings in my neighborhood, loud gatherings and music. So it's not just music, it's loud voices. Folks hanging out and just, loud well beyond midnight. And so I loved what I heard that was read as far as what you guys are planning to implement. I think one of the challenges is going to be is whatever you decide to do is letting the community know about it. Because there's going to be a lot of backlash once, it's in effect. Folks are playing their music. Sheriff show up. They explain something that they haven't heard. And if they get called back and they get that $500 fine, it's going to be uproar. So definitely once you make the decision, maybe do a couple of town halls, or whether it's through social media or sending out, information, or just going to the places where we know folks play a lot of music all the time. And whether it's the code enforcement folks or the sheriff, just letting folks know we have a new ordinance and this is what's going to happen. Because how it's rolled out is going to be important too. I think all of us agree that something needs to happen. Folks need to understand that, not everybody want to hear what you're playing, especially at certain times of the night. Once you do the permits, I love the idea too of going around that neighborhood where that event is going to happen and make sure that the local residents understand that, hey, there's going to be an event happening where there may be music playing between X hours, so you may experience, but we do also want you to know that if it's to a point where it's too excessive, please call either a certain number or the PBSO so they can come out and let those folks know so they can address it. Because I wouldn't have come if I didn't hear from the vice mayor that you guys were having this. I thought it was great because I'm literally like the last month, Friday nights, almost clockwork from 10:30 to about 1 in the morning. It's just the gathering of folks hanging out and the music being playing. And that's usually the night I try to do my sermon prep in my schoolwork. So it definitely bothers me because it's on top of me just trying to concentrate and focus. But again, I think there's certain instances when folks will be more lenient when they know there's like death in the family and folks are hanging out, gathering around that family, and they may be playing music. But even with that, at a certain time, music shouldn't be, just blaring and going on beyond a certain time. So I'm definitely interested to see what you guys are going to decide if you need to do an additional workshop or even a town hall. So just to allow folks to understand what's happening, that's going to be crucial because I do see a potential for folks to be very combative when they start to get, those fines and get these things and not knowing that, these conversations are happening, that you guys are going to make a decision that's going to help, make things a lot better for the residents.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next public comment is from Jacqueline Boyer Jackson. Please state your name for the record.
Jacqueline Boyer Jackson. I am a resident here in Belle, Glade. Good evening, afternoon to everyone here. And I am very appreciative of this opportunity for this conversation. It comes in handy because for me, it seems like there is no specific time when the music is turned up. It can be during the week or it can be a weekend. So it's just very random. I think my biggest problem is not so much the music being loud, but it's the bass that comes with that. And that bass sound travels far and it sits in the four walls of my home. So the only thing I can hear is doom, doom, doom. And I'm hearing it sometimes after midnight. They usually start by the time it gets dark, 8 p.m. So what I just heard city manager say about them turning it back up, I'll call the sheriff department, and if the music stops, more than likely it'll stop for a little bit and then it starts again. But it gets louder and louder and louder, makes it impossible to rest. I turn my AC on and I turn my TV up loud, so it drowns that sound out. However, that does not always help, which is ridiculous because I too am trying to get rest. I travel an hour for work, so it's not good. My problem also, and I'm hoping that you all will be able to provide some resolve to this, is sometimes when I make the call to the sheriff department, I didn't know, but I want to know, are you to remain anonymous or can I remain anonymous when I'm making the report or not? I've been told several different things, so it depends on, I guess, how the call is routed. If I remain anonymous and they respond to the call, but I haven't given my name or phone number or, information such as whatever they're asking for, then the officers do not have to respond to the call. That's what I've been told. So I'd like to be clear on that because when I do leave my information, they will come. They may call. Sometimes they'll call and ask, is it necessary? Or, if I really want them to come. And I may say no, but I leave it, to their discretion. But because I've been informed that if I don't give information, then the officers don't have to respond. I've also made the call and the music didn't stop. I called back and the officer told me that I didn't hear the music playing loud. So my response is for me to make the call means that I can hear it and I'm calling you, for some resolve in this. So it would be nice if you do respond, whether you need to come by my home and try and hear from my perspective or not. So they're just different things. Would love to know that there's some consistency in my responsibility in terms of reporting the information. Who do I report to? Is there a specific number or what? Just need a little more insightful information on what to do with that. Thank you.
Well, I think, Council, you want to go ahead?
Just to clarify, unfortunately, the legislature last year prohibited cities from responding to anonymous code complaints. So cities cannot send a code officer anymore in an anonymous complaint. The sheriff, however, I believe can respond criminally if you call and say, hey, there's a crime being committed. I believe they'll come anyway. I'll ask the sheriff when he gets here, but I believe they can come. So I would call the sheriff's office directly if you want to remain anonymous, and code enforcement if you're willing to give up your name.
Okay. And that was just because there was information given to me. So until I have the right information, and that's why I'm asking, for information so that I can do it the right way so that the response is made from the sheriffs and I don't feel like I'm just making calls for not. So I understand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our last comment is from Ms. Anita Corson. Please state your name for the record.
Anita Corson, 900 Northeast 3rd Street. It is bad in our neighborhood. And when I call PBSO, just to help you, I give my name and my address, but explain to them that I don't want them to know who's calling, because the drunker they get, you don't know the repercussion they're going to get for when they know who it is. So if that helps you. But Thanksgiving Day, it started at 9 o'clock in the morning. Me and my guests were bumping and eating. At 10 o'clock at night, my windows were rattling. I have videos. I did open my back door and dial 911 and call the sheriff's department, I do 911, and said, "Can you hear me?" She said, "Yeah, where you at? We're coming." And as soon as they left, he is correct, it got worse till my windows, I have hurricane impact windows and my windows are rattling. But this happens in our neighborhood every weekend. And it's usually Sunday nights. If I wanted to go out in my backyard with my company, we didn't want to be out there. But this has been going on for over a year now. And our streets are blocked. If an ambulance or a fire truck need to get down our streets, they're not getting there.
What street are you on?
I live on 3rd Street. I live in the northeast section. And I have videos, because y'all know I'm good at that. And it's pretty bad. So my thinking is, I agree with the $500 fine. But every time, I had to call PBSO twice. But I think every time PBSO has to go there, or code enforcement, they should be fined, because they done been warned. But I know they get a permit, but do we all have to enjoy it? I mean, I don't know what to say besides it's really bad in our neighborhood. My neighbor tells me her dogs are gonna start speaking Spanish if they don't quit. But I'm down the street from here. I don't know if they have it down there, but I didn't know. And I found out about this later, and I've talked to Captain Payne, and he said they don't know how far they can take it. Do you confiscate their stuff? They're just gonna go buy more. If you slap them on the hands, as soon as they leave, they're gonna do it again. Until you get deep in them pockets, it ain't gonna quit. We have Warden Park, we have our lake out here. There's places they can go rent for their parties. Okay.
Anita and I both live on 3rd Street.
Ma'am, could you address the mic, please? Thank you.
I didn't fill one out, but I can't stand it.
No problem.
We both live on 3rd Street, but, the
Please state your
person
name for
that's
the
in
record.
question,
Ma'am,
Linda
your name and
Markham.
address.
Linda Markham, 904 Northeast 3rd Street, next door to her. The complaint is behind our house, so it's on Northeast 2nd Street, not so much on 3rd Street. The complaint is from the person behind us. And she is very correct. It goes on at all times. And my husband said he's gonna buy one of them train horns and he's just gonna let it go. He's done. So, but I want you to understand what she's saying. On 2nd Street, you can't go down that street if this neighbor has about 8 to 10 cars on the street. I mean, it's a little street. So, but we hear it because it travels from their back patio and radiates to ours into our home. But, it has been going on for a while. And he's a nice guy, don't get me wrong. I don't have any problems with him other than he doesn't stop his music. And when they get to drinking, they get louder because they have to talk over the music, and then they have to talk over the other person that is screaming. So it just gets, and I'm the one that has the dogs that speak Spanish, so.
Okay. So we hear you guys loud and clear. And I can tell you, this commission, we're not the one that just gonna hear you but not take action. So we can do it two ways, Mr. Manager. We can put it in your hand, and you get staff and legal. You guys can tear it apart and come up with some ideas, solutions immediately, based on what you're hearing. Or we can create a committee based on the community. And we do have those IHOP committees that we have on the book. I would prefer we did that. Now you gotta buy in. I think, Mr. Messer made a good point. It's how we do it. People normally will buy into it if they know the rationale behind it. They're not gonna all agree to it. That's just part of life, but we gotta do something. But I would prefer we got a IHOP committee, of maybe 5 to 7 community folks with our staff, code enforcement, legal, and our administrators to dive into it and begin to look at and see all the changes that need to be made. Come before us again, another workshop, we look at it again, we may want to add or take away, but it's a moving process for us to start seeing what we can do to put more teeth into our current policy. But I need to see which direction, my colleagues and Mr. Manager, or if you have a preference, how do you want to proceed? But we're gonna do something, but I prefer getting the community involved as well. That's would be my preference, but you have a comment?
Well, I'd like to do it a different way.
Okay.
I would like to put the responsibility on the city attorney to work with the sheriff's department, to work with the city staff to draft something with teeth in it to put a halt to it.
Okay.
And I sort of agree with that approach because if we try to get the community together in a meeting like that to develop an ordinance, it's going to take us a lot longer than we necessarily need. We realize we need to have an ordinance. There's no question about it. What that ordinance would be, again, as we listen to our citizens, it has to be one that deals with when I come to you and tell you to turn down the music, and if I come back, there's going to be something it's going to escalate, whether it's a immediate fine.
Okay.
And we need to make sure that in our communities, that it doesn't matter whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, that ordinance should be in place for our residents so that, because there are some residents who take the weekend to really relax and rest, and they don't want to hear all that noise. And so I think we just need to get together with PBS, so like you indicated, along with our attorney and code enforcement, come up with a plan of what it would be. Then before we finally decide on it, then bring the community in and let's let them know what we're looking at, and we can fine tune it after then. But I think we need to get to move this thing forward.
Okay.
We need to move this thing forward. That's the approach we need to take.
No, good point, Commissioner. Mr. Manager.
The reason I'm making this suggestion to the commission is we, the city, have to take into consideration these neighbors all live next to each other, and they don't want to get into confrontations with their neighbors regarding this issue, even though it's not fair to the ones that are having to put up with it. So I think we should put it back on the city and work through the city attorney and the sheriff's department to come up, rather than have neighbor against neighbor. I think that would be more acceptable.
But will you get input from the community at large? Can you get input?
I think we're getting pretty good input tonight.
Well, I think, once you put it in place, that's when you fine tune it with input from the community.
Okay.
But again, you cannot come up with a complete plan with a lot of different ideas. You have to really tell the community what you're looking at doing, what you plan to do. If there need to be some adjustments, then after that input from the community, they make those adjustments.
Gotcha.
I don't think there should be any exceptions for weekend. It should be 7 days a week. If I live in a community, if I want to relax on Saturday night, I don't need to hear anybody's music while I'm trying to relax. So again, we just need to let the staff, as well as law enforcement and our attorney, work up a ordinance with a specified time frame for daylight as well as for nighttime, and make sure the noise level is such that it does not disturb others. And so that's my suggestion.
Oh, I like it. Commissioner Collins, you've been recognized for comments on the recommendation.
Yes, I like all what has been, put forth, especially with what city manager has stated, because you don't want residents, getting into confrontations over something that, again, is not fair to them, but at the same time, making sure that everybody has a peace of mind in their own home and being at peace and not being able to have to hear this noise all the time. Putting it on the city attorney and PBSO and us coming up with a plan and then following through with what Mr. Messam stated, hosting a town hall and put it out there so people know, and then we can get input and be able to move forward from there.
Vice Mayor, you've been recognized.
Yes, first I want to thank all the residents for coming out. I mean, this is a real good turnout. I'm glad y'all here. We're listening to y'all. We are concerned. That's what we're having this workshop. And the time and everything, what Pastor Reese and everybody said here, I agree. But the time is also, this has got to be, because I've gone to Lakeshore Middle School with the principal and their police, school police outside looking towards the north, towards the south, because there's noise and the students can't concentrate. So this is not just at night, this is at all times of days that is happening. And we need to be mindful of that. Like you said, we don't want residents, confronting other residents or anything. We do have to put teeth into this ordinance, because if not, we're not gonna do anything. We gotta put some teeth in there, and unfortunately, we gotta start with a 500 and the next one's a 2,500, I mean, we have to do it, because we're getting the calls, and just because my tolerance is different than other ones, I have to be mindful and respectful of all our neighbors. So I agree with the manager and Pastor Reese says. I think with our attorney, PBSO, and staff, they brought us some good examples here that I've been looking over. I think they can fine tune them, bring us 2 or 3. We can have another workshop and have residents come out and let them see which one they like, or we'll hear their comments on those 2 or 3 samples, and we'll move on. And, we have to do a PSA, we have to put it out, we'll do a 30 or 60-day grace period or something, and then we go from it.
Okay, so, we can't take action by way of votes in the workshop, but we can have a consensus. And the consensus, I understand, is that we're gonna put it in the hands of our city manager and staff with legal and PBSO to work on a plan, bring it before the commissioners in a workshop setting. We look at it, we may wanna add or take away, we get input from the community at that time, those who want to, and then we go back out, make sure we crossed all our T's and dot all our I's, come back and then take action. Now, my question is, we need to start putting some time frames on these things, because it's an issue, it's a growing issue. I think Ms. Hines not here, but she's been complaining about it for the last 2 years. So, Mr. Manager, we're gonna put that in your hand to give us some time frames. You don't have to commit to it right now, but at least by the next commission meeting, you need to give us an idea where we at with time frames.
We'll make this a priority item.
Okay. All right. Man, thank you all. Madam, take the mic again, ma'am. We have to record for the record. Thank you.
Linda Markham, 904 Northeast 3rd Street. Where do you advertise? Because way back in the day, you used to put it in the paper, yada, yada, yada. Paper's obsolete now. So we have Facebook, and we have the city of Belle Glade, and we do follow those. And we actually saw that this meeting was on there today, but it also had 6 p.m. on there. So my friend called, and they said that was a typo. Sorry about that. It was at 4. Awesome. But when you come back for this town hall discussion, where are we going to post it?
City clerk.
Where are we going to post it?
You can post it on Facebook. There's several things. So we can do, we ought to put it on the paper for the people that read it on paper, and we put it on social media. I have a personal page too, where I share a lot of things at as well, and then we need to post it up here up front in the lobby.
But maybe a few days
Prior
to
to,
it,
yes.
not the day of.
Not the
That'd
day
be
of,
fine.
not the day of.
Yeah,
It would be
because
days prior to,
It's just lucky that we all saw it.
right?
We'll post it a week or 10 days in advance.
Correct.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay?
Yep.
Yep.
We have a PR director, we have social media, we can get it out there. Okay, so again, thank you, Commissioner, for thinking outside the box. That helped me. We can navigate this and begin letting folks know. We're gonna be working on it. Mr. Manager indicated it's gonna be a priority. Thank you so much. Any more questions about the noise ordinance? We got a game plan. Okay, we're gonna move on into the chicken complaints.
And the noise.
Yes. We just got the noise, so we're working.
And their noise. They don't know what time morning is or night is.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Chicken, man, there's a concern with the chickens, and, I don't know where to start with this one, to tell you, they are
I think
nuisance.
we should, it's a suggestion, Mr. Mayor, that we should have Didell come to the podium and give us his idea.
Oh, he have an idea?
Yes, sir. And we can also hold, because he has a background in this here, we can also hold Mr. Didell accountable for these chickens.
Cluck, cluck. Quack, quack.
Go ahead, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Manager, and to the Commissioner, Mr. Mayor. It is my pleasure to stand before you this morning to present to you a solution to our chicken dilemma. My staff and I, we've done extensive research in the chicken dilemma throughout the state of Florida. I don't think there's a community that has not been ransacked by these chickens. Some of them that has the finances have used bounty hunters, they've used pest controllers, small animal catchers, but we've come up with an innovative plan. What we want to do is purchase traps, inexpensive traps, place them in a designated area, trap those chickens, transfer them to a larger pen. After we get a certain number of chickens, we will contact the animal regulation. They will come and then collect the chickens and dispose of them in whatever way is humane. Our staff, we've had extensive conversation, and they're willing to take part in this. We're going to be the Belle Glade chicken bounty hunters. We propose to start here at City Hall. I walked out the door today, and I saw a hen with about 7 little chicklets on the steps. So we're going to start here as a test case. We want to do at least 30 days to see how this works. If we're successful in rounding up enough chickens, we want to extend the program. What I'd like to do as well is get with some of the residents who now cage chickens, who have those chickens, and see if they will assist us in rounding up these feral chickens in the neighborhood for a small bounty, which we would have to come up with. We would determine what that bounty would be if we decide to do it. But most of these, like I say, most of these cities who's having this problem, Key West, for instance, they decided to just make the chickens kings. They praise the chicken, they just gave up. So we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do what we can to rid ourselves of this problem. And it's gonna take time, it's not gonna be something we're gonna be able to do overnight.
Well, Mr. Manager, so, legal, these traps we can do?
I'll look into it. I'll talk to the chief about it. I think so, but we'll discuss it.
You said, what'd you say?
I said I'll talk to the chief about it, but I think we can.
But when we consulted with animal regulation, they used to provide those traps, but they don't now. They said that we would have to provide the traps ourselves.
As long as it's just legally binding, Mr. Manager, you good? Let me hear from my colleagues.
And Mr. Mayor, one more thing. We certainly can do it on our property. You know, if we're gonna be going on private property, we may need the consent, but if we're doing it on our property, our parks, things like that, that's a lot easier.
Mr. Attorney, for us to be effective, it's gotta be citywide.
Right, understood. So that's why I said I'll work with the chief to come up with a solution where we can get everywhere.
Well, what we were trying to do is put this on public right-of-way. We wasn't gonna put them in people's yard unless we got permission from those residents. We've already thought these out. I just have gone over, that packet that we provided you all has most of the details of this plan that we want to put in place.
You're gonna go back to your old days, secret squirrel.
I got you.
And another thing too, there's numerous people throughout the community who will be glad to work with you and let you put a trap in their yard. to get
Yeah,
rid of chickens.
yeah.
And one of the ordinance says it too.
It shall be the duty of the police to impound any cow, horse, mule, sheep, goat, ass, swine, or fowl running or roaming at large within the city. That's in our ordinance. It also says, if the owner of such impounded animal is not known, then notice shall be given by posting one copy at the customary place for notices in the city hall, one at the post office, and one at some other public and conspicuous place within the city. Such notice shall contain information similar to that set forth in subsection B and shall describe the animal impounded.
All right, well, let's hear from the audience. If we have any, then we'll close out with comments from the commissioner. Vice Mayor, you've been recognized.
Mr. Dowdell, before you leave, what is our ordinance? Can people have them in the house? They're supposed to get any permits? Explain that procedure. for
Okay,
all of
they
us.
are allowed to have chicken pens as long as they are constructed in a manner that does not harm the chickens. Okay, let me read this. It is unlawful for the owner of any fowl or domestic birds to permit the same to run or roam within the city. All persons owning or having under their custody or control any fowl or domestic birds are hereby required to keep and prevent the same from running or roaming at large within the corporate limits of the city by keeping and retaining them within good and sufficient fences or enclosures. Any fowl or domestic birds found upon property other than the property of the owner shall be presumed to be running at large in violation of this section.
Do they have to get a permit or?
Well, what they have to do prior to caging the chickens, they have to get permission from all residents within 300 feet in writing. And that is to be brought to City Hall so we can put it on file. If at any time after that, any residents complain, if only one resident complains, they have to get rid of the chickens. And that's a part of that permission letter that they have signed.
So is that if something happened, that's what that's the penalty? They lose the right to have the chickens, or do we fine them if we found them running?
They lose the right. They have a certain amount of time to get rid of those chickens. Once that one resident complains, that one signer complains, they have to, within a reasonable amount of time, get rid of those chickens.
Well, you said there's no penalty, fine, right?
No. The penalty that we have, if we go out and do our inspections and we find that they are caging chickens without that permission, we write a violation at that time. They are required to get that permission within a 10-day period of time. If that's not done, then they'll get an administrative fine and have to go before the magistrate. And if it's not done after that second compliance date, they'll be fined again, and a daily running fine would be attached, which would be assigned by the magistrate.
All right, audience comment?
We have one, we have, well, probably two. Steve Messam.
Yes, Steve Messam again. This is probably the main reason I came, due to the chickens. So that plan does seem like it's a solution. However, unless we get because they're everywhere. They're not just on city property. Like, they're in all of our yards. They're on our streets. They're all over the place. So I know that the county is renovating a building in Pahokee that will serve as the animal care and control, more of a surgical type suite. So they won't be holding animals and keeping them. It's just more of a medical concern. However, they have consistently discussed reopening a location here in the Glades just for reasons like this, whether it's stray dogs, cats, and chickens. So maybe we can work with the county to not just put all the onus on the city to come up with the funds and the resources for these traps and for housing them to a certain time and then waiting for the regulatory folks to come and get them. if we share this concern, maybe as joint communities in the Glades, maybe we can push the county to maybe speed up their timetable if they are indeed going to reopen the location out here, to maybe give us some resources to get some of these traps in the interim, and to help us at least find a place for this staging area for the larger pen, and before they come and get them. That way, we can share the resources, not just on the city, because since we do have a Palm Beach County Animal Control and Care department, why not use their resources? Because that's pretty much what they do. Let's see if we can work some type of agreement to help this out, because it's getting ridiculous, It's probably more chickens outside of Dixie Fried and Popeyes than on the inside, so, and if we're not careful, like, I'm not a green person, I don't garden and stuff, but I do like to put some mulch in my yard, and as soon as I drop that fresh thing of mulch, they're kicking it up and it's all over the place. It's gone, so it's definitely a nuisance, and if we can solve this thing, it definitely will be a lot of more quality of life. But please, I don't know if, I'm sure you probably have talked to the county, but I'm telling you, in the construction side, I get to see where they're planning to put monies to either renovate facilities or reopen, and the Glades has always been an area where they want to do something, but unless I think we don't push them, we probably get them to move a lot faster, and they may actually either at least give us some resources to help with this plan that you guys have as far as, with the traps. But I know myself, I'll take a trap and put in my yard, because those roosters, man, they don't know whether it's 3 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning. They crewing, they're loud. They're just going. So, yes, I definitely hope that we can solve this. People, it's almost like, I remember growing up, people had chicken coops, and that's the only place that the chickens were. You never saw them, everywhere. But I don't know if it's because of hurricanes or folks just got tired of taking care of them. They just let them out. But now it's definitely a problem. So let's solve this. Let's not just use our resources. We got a county that has staff and people in place that can help us. Let's see if we can use their resources to help us solve this problem.
Totally agree, totally agree. Okay, good point.
Linda Markham again. I have a trap at home because I bought one because I have community cats in my neighborhood that I got fixed because they were going in garbage cans, and my neighbor and I were fixing the cats. The county does not provide traps anymore. I bought the trap for $40 on Amazon. I have it. I share it with whoever calls me and says they have a cat they want to get fixed, and the county will fix the cats for free, but they won't come and get it. I have to personally take it to Pahokee at 8:30 and pick her or he up by 2 o'clock. So this fine young lady right here, if she has a chicken in her yard and she traps it, who's she gonna call? Because I can't see her putting that in the back of her truck or her car and wheeling it down here to the city drop station and saying, here's my chicken. So my point is, I'm not being ugly or facetious. I'm just saying, how is it gonna get from her yard to the drop-off point if we do that?
Good point.
This is in the planning stages, and we were looking for input from the community. If we would get a call from the community that they have trapped chickens, we'll make it possible to get those chickens to our larger pen, whatever it takes. We want to enlist the assistance of the community in helping trapping these chickens, and we'll certainly do everything we can to relieve them of them once they have captured them. I guess that'll be my number.
Then you got the help of the county as indicated.
Well, we will have another conversation with the county. It's like she said, they refuse to provide any traps. The traps are very inexpensive. They're like $39. The huger trap is like $100. That one trap would be big enough to house about 40, 50 chickens.
You got a game plan.
Yes, sir.
Any more audience comments?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, we'll close out with Commissioner, yes, sir. Take the mic, sir.
Yes, sir.
State your name for the record.
And I'm not a grumpy old man. Don't laugh, Lomax. Richard Schmidt, 17 Northeast Avenue I. And I have a two-pronged question. One neighbor, it's my backyard, one neighbor has their chickens caged. I don't know if they're permitted or not. Those are the ones that crow at 2, 1, 5, 7. It don't make any difference. The other neighbor has just put in about 20 free-range chickens who are coming probably eventually to fertilize my yard. Okay, so, and our carport. So my issue is not that I'm being cranky, grumpy, anything like that. Same like people have parties. Now I know sometimes they go too long. Done it myself, okay? But, you know, maybe there has to be like a 12 o'clock, whatever curfew. Because the last couple weekends, there'd been 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And I could sleep through most of it. But the chickens, like I said, one is about 20, 30 of them. They sleep in the trees. And you know, they're gonna come in and out, in and out. And the other one are caged. So I don't know, what do you do with the ones that are caged versus the ones that are free range? Thank you. Thank you.
If you will get with me after the meeting, if you don't mind, I'll discuss some strategies so that we can resolve that issue.
All right, we'll close out. Mr. Manager, any closing comments?
No, sir.
Commissioner Reese?
None other than, I think this was a good meeting, and we thank the public for their input and their willingness to get involved in solving this issue in our community. Because it's gonna take all of us working together to come up with a solution. And again, Dardell, we thank you for coming up with that strategy. I think what I just heard is somebody put up a cage for chicken that didn't know about it. So it sounds like they did not go to their neighbors and ask permission to do so. So that means that we need to respond to that.
All right, Commissioner Collins?
Yes. I just want to say thank you for all the residents for all of your insight and all of the examples you gave us that, you know, we could possibly utilize. And everything that was mentioned and stated today was all great insight. And hopefully we can move forward with both ordinances. Thank you.
Vice Mayor?
Yes, first, I would like to thank everybody for coming out. These are two serious concerns that I do, and I think everybody here takes very seriously. The noise and the chicken. I'd like to thank Mr. Dowdell and his staff, Mr. Kramer and his staff, and the city manager and everyone. Just ask our residents to be a little bit patient, but we're gonna move this, not patient for a year. We will bring something back, like the manager said, soon, because especially the noise, and the chickens, everything's a big nuisance and it's an issue. So hopefully, thank y'all for coming out, and we'll resolve this something to everybody's satisfaction.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Mr. Manager and staff. And again, this is what really set us apart from many communities. We're able to talk about things that may be of concern to our community as a whole. We can disagree and come up with a solution where we all can buy into and then we all can live with. Thank you so much. Again, it's moving progress here to make this thing happen. Dardell, again, thank you. So this workshop, it's adjourned. So,
Mayor and Commissioners, mics are live.
all right, mic check, please.
Mic check.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and call this, workshop for Monday, April 21st, 6 PM to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Amazon,
Here.
Collins,
Here.
Reese,
Here?
Wilson,
Here.
and Mrs. Ransom.
Here.
Approval of the agenda for the workshop, please.
Motion approved.
Motion made by Commissioner Collins. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Reese. All right, call the roll.
Amazon,
Aye.
Collins,
Aye.
Reese,
Aye.
Wilson,
Aye.
Ransom.
Here.
All right. Moving on, Madam Clerk, please go into the record, items of discussion for the workshop.
Yes, sir. We'll recognize a couple of presentations during our regular meeting. Item 1, March 2025 Employee Safety Award. We have 2 recognitions. Item 2, special recognition for March 2025 Business of the Month Award. And item 3, April 2025 Business of the Month Award. We have a proclamation for Mental Health Awareness Month. I will state it for the record and read it for the record at that time. Item 5, WTKE Traffic School from Jennifer Daniels. Item 6, update on passport facility process. Item 7, update on Palm Beach County Commission on Ethics from Gina A. Levesque. Under approval of consent agenda items, we have the following. We have city minutes for workshop and regular meeting for March 17th, 2025. Item 9, approval of special event permit application from the Pathways to Wellness Foundation requesting to locate a mobile healthcare unit at the loading ramp on April 22nd through 24th, 2025. Item 10, special event permit application submitted by the Glades Area Ministries Association for various dates at the loading ramp. Item 11, approval to apply and submit T-Mobile Hometown Grant application for the airport. Item 12, ratification of approval to apply for the Florida Boating Improvement Program grant application through the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Item 13, ratification of purchase order number 202500433 for a new ice machine at Public Works and approval of budget transfer number 25-T-008 in the amount of $9,793. Item 14, approval to piggyback the interlocal purchasing system TIPS contract 240104-02. Trade, labor, and material with Essential Constructs LLC in the amount of $204,725 for the renovation of City Hall, authorization for the mayor to execute the construction contract pending approval of performance and payment bonds, and approval of budget transfer number 25-T-007 in the amount of $54,725. Item 15, approval to piggyback the interlocal purchasing system contract 240104-02, trade, labor, and material of Essential Constructs LLC in the amount of $69,670 for the renovations at the Belle Glade Municipal Golf Course facilities. and authorization to issue a purchase order with our standard contract terms and conditions. Item 16, approval to piggyback the interlocal purchasing system contract 240104-02, trade labor and material with Essential Constructs LLC in the amount of $199,024 for the renovation of floating docks behind Lomax Harrell Pavilion, and authorization for the mayor to execute construction contract. Item 17, approval to piggyback in the interlocal purchasing system contract 240104-02, trade labor and material with Essential Constructs LLC in the amount of $36,863 for the restoration and painting exterior of City Hall and the Chamber of Commerce. Authorization to issue a purchase order with our standard contract terms and conditions, and approval of budget transfer number 25-T-006 in the amount of $36,863. Item 18, authorization to award Winn & Sons Environmental Construction Co., Inc., under piggyback of Palm Beach County's annual pathway and minor construction contract number 2022-063 in the amount of $466,501.42 for resurfacing RV lots 81 through 99 and 200 through 216, and resurfacing streets within the campground Phase 4 at the Torrey Island Campground, and authorization for mayor to execute construction contract pending registered performance and payment bonds. Mayor and Commissioners, item 19 will be deleted from the agenda at our regular meeting. Under approval of adoption of resolutions. Item 20, approval of State of Florida Department of Transportation amendment for extension of public transportation grant number G1Z28 for the drainage improvement project at the Belle Glade State Municipal Airport. Item 21, ratify the piggyback contract with Nefco Sports LLC for the purchase of scoreboards. Item 22, granting approval of purchase order for the tee box renovation services at the Belle Glade Municipal Golf Course, waiving competitive purchasing procedures for such purchase, granting authority for staff to execute and purchase order. Item 23, approving Kimley Horn and Associates, Inc.'s task order number 2025-01 for construction phase services for the master retention area project at the Belle Glade State Municipal Airport, and providing for execution. Item 24, granting approval for Cypress Cooling LLC application for site plan amendment at the property located at 2305 Cypress Lane, Belle Glade, Florida, partial control number 04-37-43-29-01-000-0100. Item 25, granting approval for the Glades Concrete Company LLC's application for site plan approval for the property located at 1355 West Canal Street North, Belle Glade, Florida, partial number 04-37-43-31-01-007-0020. Item 26, approval of granting special use approval to use of a portion of the property located at 364 South Main Street, Belle Glade, Florida, that is within the B2 Central Business District as a special needs for care facility. Item 27, granting approval to accept the donation of property located at 706 Southwest Avenue B, partial control number 04-37-43-31-01-030-0210. Item 28, approving the emergency purchase of John Deere tractor to maintain city property. Item 29, approval of amendment number 1 to the Florida Department of Transportation District 4 Landscape Maintenance Memorandum of Agreement and providing for an execution. Item 3, there was backup provided on the dais for the commissioners. This is ratifying the purchase of 3 Ford F-250 trucks at the Palm Beach County Thrift Store auction, and waiving purchasing procedures for such purchase, granting authority for the mayor to execute any required documents. And we have an add-on. The documents was provided to the commissioners on the dais. It is item 30A, reclassification, authorization to reclassify a full-time regular recreation program specialist position with benefits to a full-time regular cultural events and program specialist position with benefits.
All right, are there any questions about the resolutions or consent agenda item?
Yes,
Commissioner Reese, you've been recognized.
on agenda item number, I've lost my place. Yeah, item number 10.
10.
That item is asking for a special waiver. And as many of you know, I am a member of that organization. Do I need to exclude myself from that? Attorney?
Counsel?
Mr. Reese, you don't receive any financial benefit from this, do you?
No, I do not.
No,
Not
that
at all.
you've disclosed, that's all you need to do. You're good, you can vote on it and participate.
I'm sorry.
You are allowed to vote on it and participate. You've already disclosed that you're a member, that's all you needed to do. You're
Okay.
good.
So we don't have to pull that then.
You don't need to pull that. Thank you.
Okay. And you said we were pulling item number
19.
19. Why is that?
Sir,
Why is that?
we're not satisfied with the way the negotiations have been going.
Okay. Okay.
Is that the group came before us a
Well,
month ago?
There was three companies that came before us? 3 companies came before us.
Okay, okay. So you deleting 19. Okay. You got clearance on number 10, Commissioner Reese. All right, any more?
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Collins, you've been recognized.
Item number 26.
26.
That is, yes.
Okay.
Can we get a little more insight on that? I know that it's approval and granting special use, but I see it's for special needs care facilities. Can you give me a little more
Okay.
like that?
Yes, ma'am. Steve Kramer, the City of Belle Glade. There's an application in your packet that describes the program, but it says special needs for youth under 18 years of age. They would come there for counseling, mental health counseling, things of that nature. I'm not an expert at the program itself, but it's a state authorized program. They get a state license to do this stuff, and they're asking to rent that property for their daycare facility,
Okay. You say youth under 18 years?
under 18 years of age.
Okay,
It's all indoors.
thank you.
Sure.
Any more? If not, the announcements.
Our announcements, our next regular meeting and workshop will be held on May 19th, 2025, beginning with a workshop at 6 p.m., followed by a regular meeting at 6:30. We have a proclamation for water reuse Florida from May 18th through the 24th, 2025. And there is a flyer in your packet for the Great American Cleanup that will be held April 26th, 2025, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. here at Town Square.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Manager, anything for the good of the order for the workshop?
No, sir.
Ms. Evans, relates to anything for the workshop?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay, council, anything for the workshop?
No, sir.
Okay. Captain, anything for the workshop?
No, sir.
Okay. Fire rescue's not out there. Okay. Any comments from the workshop?
We had, okay, no, we have just one for the regular meeting.
Okay. All right, commissioners will entertain any closing comments for the workshop. Commissioner Reach, you've been recognized.
No comment for the workshop.
Okay. Commissioner Collins.
No comments.
Okay. Vice Mayor Amazon, any comments?
No, sir, no comments.
Okay. Again, to the audience, the purpose of the workshop is just to talk about things that we may not be clear on for the regular meeting, or things that we find it very uncomfortable to support or not support. So thank you all, Commissioner, Mr. Manager. And so that should do it for us for the workshop. We'll see you guys in about 12 minutes for our regular meeting. This meeting is adjourned.
The only thing my son's worried about,
Mics are live.
All right, mic check, please.
Mic check.
Mic check.
See?
Mic check.
All right. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and call this regular scheduled meeting to order for Monday, April 21st at 6:30 PM. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Amazon,
Here.
Collins,
Here.
Reese,
Here.
Wilson,
Here.
Ransom.
Here.
All right, we're pleased and blessed to have with us on the dais Commissioner Reese gonna lead us in the invocation, and then we're gonna ask our Vice Mayor to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance after the invocation. Well, please stand for the invocation, please.
If you don't mind, let's take a moment to honor the Catholic Church, the passing of their Pope. Again, we just pray for that reorganization, that God will bring them through this challenge to select a new Pope. Moment of silence. Dear Heavenly Father, we are truly thankful to you, Lord, for this beautiful day that you've made. We thank you, Father, for this opportunity that we have to come together as a community to work on the issues that concern the citizens and the city of Belle Glade. We invoke your presence to be here among us, dear Lord, that you may guide us in everything that we say and that we do. And whatever decisions we make, Lord, we pray that it brings honor to you as we try to help our community to grow both economically and through safety as well. Bless the dais and our city manager and our employees. We thank you, Lord, for the PBSO that continues to patrol our streets. We thank you for the fire department as well. And Lord, we thank you for these citizens who thought it not robbery to come out tonight to be a part of this meeting. So Lord, just guide us, help us to make decisions that will truly honor you. These things we ask in your precious name. And all those who love the Lord said,
Amen.
please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Reese. Thank you, audience, and thank you, Commissioner. Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. We would like to request to delete item 19 from the regular agenda and add 30A, which is authorization to reclassify a full-time regular recreation program specialist position with benefits to a full-time regular cultural events and program specialist position with benefits under the consent agenda.
All right. What's your pleasure?
So move.
Motion by Vice Mayor Amazon for the second by Commissioner Collins. All right, call the roll.
Almazan,
Aye.
Collins. Aye. Reese.
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ransom.
Aye.
Again, welcome to our regular scheduled meeting. Thank you all for taking time out of your schedule to be with us. We say that always. We don't take it lightly that you guys did take time out to be with us. We don't have a heavy agenda, but a lot of presentations tonight. Any elected officials that I fail to recognize? If so, please stand so I can acknowledge you. We do have Senator Berman office, Ms. Bryant representing. Give us some love, please, y'all. Thank you for what you do, helping the Glades. We also have with us Dr. Jacobs with the Abbott program. Those students, are they here? I know we have the president with us. Any of the other students are here? Okay, Dr. Jacobs, thank you for what you do with the kids. We're gonna recognize our president, President Ransom, at this side. Give us some love. Thank you. Okay, we'll move into our programs. Madam Clerk.
Mayor and Commissioners, at this time, may you step down from the dais for the following 4 presentations. May I call up Ms. Ari Patrick? Mrs. Ari Patrick is our March 2025 Employee Safety Award recipient, and she is our Assistant Finance Director. Congratulations.
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to work here at the City of Belle Glade. And if you don't know by now, you have an outstanding finance team.
We know, we know. We know.
At this time, we're going to move on with our next presentation. May we call up Anita Carson, please?
All right, if you can attention your eyes to the screen, you see how beautiful and clean this business is. I know a lot of us drive through this drive-through all the time. Yes, I was just gonna say my husband drives through all the time and get a large remix. I already know what he gets. Okay, so Miss. Yes, yes, and the hamburgers, everything is so good. But we just want to recognize Miss Anita for doing such an amazing job, her and her staff, at this wonderful business here in town. It makes it so warm, welcoming, and beautiful when people pass by. You know, when we come into our town, we want to see things that are neat, clean, and organized. And so we've been doing this little Business of the Month award every month for, about since January. And it has grown. I see a lot of businesses throughout town that are, starting to clean up. They're starting to make their business beautiful because everybody wants to be recognized. But the whole idea is for our city to look clean, neat, and organized. And the certificate reads, Certificate of Recognition, proudly presented to Anita Carson, Norman's Drive-Thru, for your exceptional contribution on the beautification of 233 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard East within the city of Belle Glade, Florida, presented this 21st day of April 2025. Congratulations, Ms. Anita.
Now, Mike, yours, let's go.
The floor is mine. This is y'all in trouble. I want to thank y'all. We do our best. I have an incredible staff. It's a challenge. a daily challenge to keep it clean, but they are very good about even stepping up and helping us. So thank y'all very much.
At this time, may we call up Luis Vallejo for April 2025 Business Month Award.
Okay. No one for Luis Vallejo. All right, well, this is Vallejo Auto Sales. I'm sure everybody within the city knows who they are. They've been doing business here with us for quite some time. They sell a lot of cars, but anytime you pass by or pull into this establishment, as you can see, it's always clean, neat, and organized. And we just wanted to recognize them for an outstanding job that they are doing within our community as well. And so his certificate reads, Certificate of Recognition proudly presented to Luis Vallejo, Vallejo Auto Sales, Belle Glade area, for your exceptional contribution on the beautification of 809 Northwest 16th Street within the city of Belle Glade, Florida, presented this 21st day of April 2025.
At this time, may we have Annie Ifill? Is Ms. Ifill in the? Mrs. Annie Ifill is a project director of Healthier Glades and promoting mental health awareness and trauma-informed this month. I would read the proclamation for the record. Whereas mental health is essential to overall well-being and mental illness affects people of all ages, backgrounds, and socioeconomic statuses. And whereas untreated mental health conditions and the effects of trauma can have profound impacts on individuals, families, and communities, leading to increased risks of substance abuse, homelessness, unemployment, and physical health issues. And whereas raising awareness about mental health and the importance of trauma-informed care fosters a culture of understanding, reduces stigma, and encourages individuals to seek help when needed. And whereas trauma-informed care recognizes the widespread impact of trauma and promotes practices that support resilience, healing, and recovery. And whereas the City of Belle Glade is committed to promoting mental health awareness and ensuring that our community has access to resources, education, and support systems to improve overall well-being. And whereas Mental Health Awareness Month and Trauma-Informed Care Month provide an opportunity for residents, organizations, and leaders to work together to increase awareness, provide education, and advocate for mental health services. Now, therefore, the Mayor of the City of Belle Glade and the City Commission do hereby proclaim May 2025 as Mental Health Awareness and Trauma-Informed Care Month in the City of Belle Glade and encourage all residents, businesses, and organizations to join in raising awareness, promoting education, and supporting those affected by mental health conditions and trauma. Signed this day, this 21st day of April 2025.
And I know Commissioner Carlos.
Come on, Mr. Fuller, come on. So, good evening, everyone. Once again, my name is Anna Ife. I'm the director of Healthier Glades. I've been the director now since 2019. I can't believe it. Yeah, so since I've been the director, we've been doing a lot of work to try to bring awareness around mental health and trauma-informed care. We've done a lot of collaborations with several organizations throughout the city. We've also tried to promote mental health awareness with our yard signs and community events. I do want to share with you one event that we're doing this year is Abby Moya Garcia from Refuse to Sink Foundation. Myself, along with People of Purpose, are collaborating with her to bring a motivational speaker here on May 13th at 11 o'clock to talk about the importance of not only just working with folks who are dealing with situations, but also for mental health professionals to take care of themselves. And so I want to encourage everybody to register. It's on our Healthier Glades page. I did bring some flyers where you can register as well. There will be no on-site registration. So just be on the lookout for events that will be taking place. We're also going to be doing something with Federation of Families. We also do a lot of work with our Hunger Relief Campaign. I know Peggy, Vice Mayor Amazon, and a couple of others are participating on that. And one of the things we're trying to bring here is a green market. And we're going to try to kick it off in South Bay. So like I said, there's a lot of things that are happening in the community. Please participate, because one of the things is it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of resources to make this stuff happen. So once again, thank you.
Thank you so much, and congratulations. So as my colleagues know, that's why I stepped up just a little bit. I'm gonna be very brief, but Mental Health Awareness Month is next month, May, and it is really, really big for all of us that, work in mental health, is around mental health, basically everybody in this room at some particular point. However, we work so hard behind the scenes trying to destigmatize the stigma that has been put on mental health, because it's okay to talk to somebody. It's okay if there's an issue. It does not mean that just because you hear the word mental health that somebody is crazy or something's wrong with you. Listen, sometimes I be needing somebody to talk to myself. So, we all have a little mental health. But the Go Green campaign will be launched next month, May, and we're going to continue to collaborate around mental health. One thing that I really would like to do, Miss Annie, I'm not sure if you've already put it together, but there are some free courses for people to take, and it's the intro into mental health to know what to look for. Yeah, if you already got it, that's a plus. We want to take advantage of that.
I'm just happen to be one of the instructors, but we do offer mental health first aid. This is a class that is available to anybody just to learn about the basics of how to help someone who's going through a crisis. You don't have to, you're not going to diagnose, you're not going to treat, but you'll at least be given information and resources of how to support that person, whether it's through active listening, whether it's through referrals to an agency to get them help, walking them through that process. Because sometimes it can be very intimidating when somebody is not at their best and they're looking for help but don't know how to go about getting it. So we are in the process of scheduling mental health first aid. I just had that meeting today. So so once I get that information, I'll get it out to you. It's probably going to be sometime the end of May or the first week in June.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Let's give them a hand. Thank you.
Mayor and Commissioners, you may now have a seat for the next following presentations.
Okay.
Thank you, Z.
Okay, Madam Clerk.
Our next presentations do we have a Jennifer Daniels? Our next presentation is from Mrs. Jennifer Daniels with YTKE Traffic School.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Commissioner, city staff, and members of the community. It's Jennifer Daniels, WTKE Traffic School. And just by a show of hands, including you guys.
Yeah, just approach, ma'am, just approach the dais. Yeah.
Approach the desk?
Yeah, yes.
No, by a show of hands.
Just talk, talk.
Address you guys. Okay.
Yes.
But they're more important. Okay, no problem. Just by a show of hand with everybody in the audience too, how many people have a valid driver license? Raise your hands, keep your hands up. Now, just by a show of hands, how many of you guys that have your hands up, check your driver license and make sure they're valid within the last 6 months? Okay. Well, most people that have a valid driver license, they never check the status of their driver license. And you guys are the ones that always get pulled over thinking you have a valid license and your license suspended because maybe you have a car in your name and you let your child use your car in college and ran the red light. Somehow you missed the mail or they hid the mail somehow and you got your license suspended because a red light camera ticket wasn't paid. Or maybe you changed from State Farm Insurance and went over here to Geico, and State Farm said, oh, your policy canceled. But Geico said, yes, we have a new policy, but Geico never alerted the DMV. Only State Farm alerted the DMV that your policy is no longer active. So therefore, you have a pending suspension that maybe you didn't catch. So when you get pulled over by the police, you just knew you have a valid driver license, and that is so not true. And again, my name is Jennifer Daniels. I helped over 200 and something people in the state of Florida obtain a valid driver license, whether they suspended, canceled, revoked, no valid driver license, child support suspension, habitual traffic offenders, anything you could think of dealing with a driver license issue, I have helped in that area. But I'm more passionate about helping teens obtain a valid driver license, because even when people are 33, maybe 40, they come to my office, they say, I never had a license. And once they obtain their license, I ask, if your mother would have helped you in high school to assist you to go to the DMV, would you have had your driver license? They always answer yes. Because when you have somebody under the age of 18, they pretty much don't know how to spell the middle name. They probably don't know their full name. They definitely don't know the last five digits of their social, which is required for the 4-hour traffic school. So the teens don't never get their license unless their parents are pushing them to get their license. And then most parents, they work. They're single parents. They don't have time technically to go to the DMV during the DMV hours. So I'm trying to start a challenge of no teen left behind, because if we have, statistically, not every child is going to graduate high school. We all know that. And some kids will graduate high school and some kids go on to college. And most of those college students that go on to college or they drop out, they don't have a valid driver license. So right then there's a X right there for them. So if we can help our teens acquire their driver license before either they drop out of high school or even if they go on to college, that will be a better opportunity for them to get a better job, have more money, less likely to do a high-speed chase, because now they have a valid driver license, so most likely they'll pull over. They have a choice. And then if somebody that don't have a license, they feel like they don't have a choice, because who wants to go to jail for driving and be sitting next to somebody that just murdered somebody, or somebody just robbed somebody, or somebody raped somebody? You're in there for driving, so it's the crime. So what I'm proposed today is that we initiate the Drive Legit program into the teens at risk. I own a traffic school. I'm a franchise owner, and we offer a 4-hour basic driving improvement course. Most people that have had tickets out here, you guys have already took this 4-hour basic driving improvement course. If you get a speeding ticket, most likely, or improper lane change, or any moving violation would consider points, you will have already took this course to keep the points off your license, keep your insurance low. I also offer a 55 and older senior book, and you don't have to take the class from me, but this is a good note for anybody that's 55 and older. If you want to get anywhere between 5 to 20% off on your insurance, you want to definitely take this class, 55 and older. We offer the 8-hour class, which is only court ordered. The judge has to send somebody or court order you to take this 8-hour class. And it's mostly for like people with extreme points, like a lot of points on their license, or high-speed chases, fleeing to elude, stuff like that. We offer the 12-hour basic driving, advanced driving improvement course. This course is basically for habitual traffic offenders, or somebody that has 15 or more points, or maybe the DMV say you have to do a 3 and 3. And a lot of people don't know what a 3 and 3 is. That means that you have been involved in 3 or more crashes within a year. And the DMV say, oh, we don't think you don't know how to drive, so we're going to make sure you do a 3 and 3. Basically, you do the 12-hour advanced driving improvement course, and then you have to do 5 hours in the car driving with somebody on the road for 5 hours. And then, that test you took when you first got your license, the skills test where you drive, hit the corner, go around this way. You have to do that test. When you pull in, you're finished, you got to back out and do it again. And you pull in again, then you got to back out and do it again. You got to do that test 3 times and pass each time in one day. That's called a 3 and 3. And we also do the first time drivers class. It's called the drug and alcohol traffic and safety. Talk about traffic laws and alcohol. Talk about the use of alcohol and talk about traffic laws in the book. And this is the book that anybody that has a driver license in the state of Florida that never had a license in Florida, everybody has took this course. It's a 4-hour traffic law and substance abuse education course. And then we have the most important, I think you guys will benefit from, is the Youth Offender Awareness Program from ages 15 to 25. The only people that can take this course is the ones that the judge say, hey, you need the Youth Offender Program for traffic. The judge have to court order somebody to take this course. You just can't take this course unless the judge court order you to take this course. And also we educate our teens about traffic laws and about the traffic signs, because when some of the teens drive, they see a sign that says "Do not enter," but they only see one sign, so they might think they're going the wrong way. Or we teaching them about drugs and alcohol, how it affects the mind. And your judgment and vision are affected while drinking and driving. A lot of teens don't understand that. They don't even know which one is affected first. And most people in here might not even know the answer to that question. So we teach them, educate them on how drugs and alcohol affect your driving, affect your mind while you're driving. We also teach the teens how to understand, if you go on a flee into a lewd chase, that when you running away from the officer, if you run 3 traffic lights, or you run 3 stop signs, or you in danger while you're actually fleeing to a lewd, and you don't stop to render aid, they give you all those tickets. That's when it's called a dash cam. They run back the video and they give you every ticket, because the police know when it's time for you to actually obtain a license, you're going to have another barrier, because now you got at least 4 or 5 tickets, maybe 15 points at the most. They already know that it's going to be another issue that you will have to tackle in order to get a valid driver license. But also, you shouldn't be fleeing to a lewd and running all the stop signs and violating all the traffic laws. We also teach the teen how important it is and how the point system works with the Department of Motor Vehicles, how you have a 12 and 12 that can give you a suspension. You have an 18 and 18 that give you suspension. You have a 3-year suspension. And then also you have a habitual traffic offender. We talk about that too. 3 major infractions within a 5-year period. Any 3 major infractions can cause you to become a habitual. A lot of people think because, I didn't go to jail, I just pay my ticket. They don't understand that just by paying your ticket could hurt you more. And also about the mistakes that are made with traffic laws and citations. You have a red light camera ticket and you have a statute code for that. Then you have a statute code for the officer that actually pulled you over. So if they get those statute code mixed up, because the red light camera ticket is no points, but if an officer physically pull you over for running the red light, there may be points. And sometimes with the new clerks, they get those statute code mixed up, and then now you got 1 ticket you don't care nothing about, 2 you don't care nothing about, 3 now it's a problem. You're going to 3 into 4, and now you got a suspension. So now you're looking at the statute code, and now you want to know why you getting suspended for red light camera tickets, because it was a mistake from the beginning and they put the wrong statute code. It's a lot of mistakes that happen on people driving records, and a lot of people license are suspended right here in this room because you guys don't check on y'all license. And it's your responsibility as an adult, and it's your responsibility as a licensed driver teen to understand your driving license and the privilege to drive. And a lot of people say, we let them understand that just because you don't have a license doesn't mean that your license is not suspended. A lot of people think because I don't have a license, why my license is suspended? It's your privilege to drive that's suspending you from actually obtaining a valid driver license. And then we also have a lot of people that can't pass the test. A lot of people take the 50-question test to general knowledge to actually obtain their permit. And I had one girl took it 8 times. Her mother drove her all the way down from Panama City to come to my office. And her mother thought she was going to fail again. She was bilingual, but I was able to teach her. She passed the first time. Her mother was so happy. And a lot deals with mental health. A lot of people, like they was just talking about mental health, but getting a valid driver license for an individual helps with their mental health also. And that's a big key too, helping them become more independent, helping them be having more encouragement about them getting a job, being able to get a better job, being able to have opportunities in front of them, and being able to stand on their own 2 feet, especially for young men too. And also about having to put their cars in other people's names. And we teach about insurance, how they need to pay their insurance, and not pay. If you don't pay your insurance, your license gonna get suspended. And if you're in school, you have a teen that's in school, they get their license, you can use that as a leverage, because if they miss school or miss too many days, their license could get suspended. But at the same time, when they turn 18, they got to pay $15 to get their license right back. Instead of having to go through the whole process, they only have to pay $15 if they drop out of school and get their license back valid. I think I touched based on everything. I probably left a few things
Well,
out,
I
but
can see you're compassionate. Let's give her a hand. Thank you. You're passionate about that. Some details that you can leave behind, your contact information. Thank you, Commissioner, for bringing up before us. You know, your office is located. You're gonna have to reach out to some of these.
we're actually
schools.
looking for an office in this area too, because I want to expand, and there's a great need for a lot of people that don't have driver license, as well as teens, as well as grown people too.
Just leave your information. Commissioner, any questions for her? If not, leave your information and we'll get back with you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, our next presentation is an update on our passport facility progress. Good afternoon, or good evening. I'm Chrishayla Beckford, the Deputy City Clerk and the Passport Acceptance Agency Manager. And this is an update on the city's passport acceptance agency. I work alongside Sasha Perkins. She's our customer service representative. The facility opened back May 6, 2024. We were only processing new applications at that time. During the 1 month, we processed 7 applications. We broke it up by race. We did 29% Hispanics and 71% African Americans. On June 7th of 2024, the facility started accepting renewal applications. As of today's date, we have did a total of 227 new passport applications and 30 renewal applications. Below are the breakdown of the applicants by different categories. We have types applications, which is renewals and apps. We did 88% of those 227 applications and 30 renewals were new applications, 12 were renewals. Our new applicants by minor and adults, of course, we did more adults, which was 54%, and 46% minors. The apps by ethnicities, we did 4%, the white, others 4%, Black African American 53%, and Hispanic 39%. The city has been serving applicants from the surrounding cities, such as Pahokee, Clewiston, Royal Palm, Wellington, Westlake, Lake Worth, and more. Other facilities have also collaborated by referring others to us because of their overages and because we process without having an appointment, The total funds received by the accepting agency here at the city of Belle Glade is $47,733.08. Of those funds, $34,089.52 were allocated to the Department of State, and the remaining $13,843.71 belong to the city of Belle Glade. This is your passport agency.
Good job. Let's give her a hand. Thank you. I'm sure Ms. Evans is going to discuss it on her report, but you guys are doing an excellent job with the passports. All right, Madam Clerk.
Yes, our next presentation is from Ms. Gina Levesque with Palm Beach County Commission on Ethics.
Welcome.
Hello, my name is Gina Levesque, and I serve as the Intake and Compliance Manager for the Palm Beach County Commission on Ethics. Today, I'd like to share a little about who we are, what we do, and how we can be a resource for you. The Commission on Ethics was established in 2010 following a 2009 grand jury recommendation for ethics reform in Palm Beach County. Our mission is simple but crucial: to promote integrity in public service, build public trust, and ensure that private interests do not interfere with public duties. What sets our commission apart is its independence. We operate separately from other county and municipal governments, and our 5 volunteer members are appointed by independent organizations. This structure ensures fair and impartial oversight. We provide oversight, accountability, and transparency for more than 12,000 public officials, employees, and advisory board members, as well as certain vendors and lobbyists throughout Palm Beach County. The Code of Ethics applies not only to county governments, but also to all 39 municipalities, ensuring that public officials and employees act with integrity, independence, and impartiality, and that a public office is never used for personal gain. But our role is not just about enforcement. It's about prevention. We place a strong emphasis on education because we believe the best way to prevent ethical violations is to ensure that people understand the rules before they make decisions. That's why we provide ongoing training and advisory opinions to help officials and employees navigate ethical concerns before they become an issue. In fact, we've issued nearly 560 advisory opinions to date. While we do have authority to impose penalties such as reprimands and fines up to $500 per violation, our primary goal is to educate, guide, and prevent violations before they occur. We also ensure transparency by making all advisory opinions, gift forms, voting conflict forms, and complaints publicly available on our website. At the Commission on Ethics, we encourage everyone to remember one simple phrase: ask first, act later. If you ever have a question regarding the application of the Code of Ethics, please reach out to us before making a decision or taking an action. You can find resources, request training, or contact us by visiting our website at palmbeachcountyethics.com or by calling 561-355-1915. Thank you for your time, and most importantly, thank you for your commitment to ethical governance. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. I also left my business card with each of you in case you'd like to reach out after the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give her a hand. Thank you. Any questions from the dais? Okay. All right. Thank you again, Ms.
Thank
Sheila.
you.
Thank you. All right, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Now we're moving on to consent agenda items. May we have a motion and a second to approve items 8 through 30A?
Motion to approve.
There is a motion by Commissioner Collins. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Reese. Audience comment?
No, sir.
Commissioner comments. Call the roll.
Amazon?
Aye.
Collins? Aye. Reese?
Aye.
Wilson?
Aye.
Ransom?
Aye.
That concludes my reports. Under announcements, we have a workshop meeting on May 19th, 2025 at 6 p.m., followed by a regular meeting at 6:30 p.m. here in City Hall Commission Chambers. We have a proclamation for Water Reuse Florida May 18th through 2025. And there is a flyer in your binders and online for Great American Cleanup. That'll take place April 26, 2025 from 8 a.m. through 12 p.m. at Town Square.
All right.
That's my report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Mr. Manager, anything for the good of the order?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Evans, anything for the good of the order?
This way, honey, just a little bit.
Yeah. Something wrong with that one? Okay, thank you. That's good, that's good. Thank you. Oh, Lord Jesus. Thank you. Thank you. I'd just like to share some information in reference to the Great American Cleanup, and that is going to be Saturday, April 26th, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Town Square. We are still asking for teams to participate in this cleanup. Teams anywhere from 8 to 10 people. We will have breakfast that morning. Then we will give instructions as usual about what we're going to be doing between the hours of 9 and 11:30. After that, we'll get back and have lunch.
Students can also get community service hours for this event. In the past, we've had anywhere from 8 to 10 teams, and we're looking for that or more this time. So please come out on Saturday, April 26th at 8 o'clock to Town Square for the Great American Cleanup. Thank you.
Good job. Okay, all right, thank you. Any question, commissioners? I have not. Thank you, Ms. Evans, for that report. Okay, city attorney, anything for the good of the order?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Captain, you may want to introduce yourself to the audience and the commission as a whole.
Hi, good evening. Captain Halperin, I'm covering for Captain Payne until his return. I've been out in the Glades area since August full-time. I was also a watch commander and a command duty officer out here for many, many years. So I spent many, many shifts and many, many nights out here in the Glades. I do have a small report to give you, and this is just for the city of Belle Glade. But crime in the city of Belle Glade is decreased. Overall crime is down 60%, and this is a snapshot from October 1st to March 31st, a 6-month period.
Wow.
So overall crime is down 60%. Burglaries is down almost 70%. Auto thefts down 68%. And violent crimes have decreased 35%. So all major categories are down. Accidents have decreased 16%. And proactive patrol. So proactive is in between the calls for service. The deputies are on patrol and they're doing business checks. They're doing residential checks and traffic control. In that 6-month period, we've had 12,000 proactive incidents. So that's in between the calls for service. So things are going really well over the last 6 months.
Thank you, Captain. Let's give our captain a big hand. Thank you so much. We have our chief of fire rescue. Anything for the order? Any?
No, Mr. Mayor, everything's good.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for your service. Let's give our chief of fire rescue a big hand. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to comments from the audience.
Our first comment is from Eddie Rhodes.
Welcome, Mr. Rose.
Please state your name.
My name is Eddie Rhodes, 732 Southwest 14th Street, Belle Glade, Florida. First, I stand to thank the commission for the senior revitalization that you guys did on the senior citizen homes in the Glades. We got a lot of comments on how well it was affected and it has affected our community. But I stand for my question is, are we still lobbying for more? I heard, which is a rumor, that we was lobbying to keep that program going because of what I'm understanding, there's some home people that were left in the lottery and those still waiting on this program to proceed. So my question is, are we lobbying and asking for more money to make that program progress, or is that a halt on that?
I'll let the manager give you the good news. Max?
Yes, sir, that was one of our top priorities in Tallahassee when we went up in January. And at this moment, it looks looking good that we're going to be able to get on additional dollars. But as you know, that's up to the governor.
Okay. Sounds good.
The commission is working very, very hard on that program.
Okay, as soon as we find out, please get the information to the community that we're going to start back with that because a lot of people are interested and want to get involved. And there's some people already in the pot that's looking for a change, okay?
Of course, of course.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Our next comment is from Deanne Greer.
Welcome, Ms. Greer. Delta Sigma Theta. Making sure she wake up over there.
Good evening, everyone. Honorable Mayor Wilson
Yes, ma'am.
and the Commissioner, I want to just read this letter I prepared on behalf of the Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporation. Could any of the Zetas please stand? On behalf of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated and the Glades Festival of Afro Arts Committee, We extend our deepest gratitude to the City of Belle Glade for your unwavering support and partnership. Your continued commitment to the success of this festival plays a vital role in preserving and celebrating the rich cultural heritage of our community. We truly appreciate the City of Belle Glade's dedication to enhancing cultural awareness and recreational opportunities for all. The steadfast support from the various departments has been instrumental to ensuring the festival's success year after year. Your efforts in providing a welcoming space, logistic support, and promoting assistance have greatly contributed to the event's impact and outreach. We look forward to continuing this valuable partnership and working together to make future festival events more remarkable. With sincere appreciation, we thank you. Myself, Deanne Pearson Greer, the coordinator, and the members and committee of the Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated and the Glades Festival Afro Arts Committee. And this is our 45th Afro Arts.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
45 years, y'all. Come on. Thank you to the Zeta Phi Beta sorority. Thank you guys for what you do with the Afro Arts Festival and many other things that you support City of Belle Glade with. Madam Clerk.
Our next comment is from Jarrell Kelly.
Mr. Kelly, good evening.
Yeah, my name is Darrell Kelly. I got a couple complaints on the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Department. We have a problem with this noise. We called plenty of times, tell the dispatcher on 715. Dispatcher says there's nothing 715. For 70 years, I know there's 715 because I live there. Second thing, we had a noise Saturday night. We called twice. Sheriff's Department, I had this end of the street, blaring noise, all the way up to 11 o'clock at night. Called the Sheriff's Department. Sheriff's Department comes, turns his floodlights on, drives straight through, people in the middle of the road, chairs all in the yards. They don't stop twice. Second thing, I got a problem with the Sheriff's Department. My street, the street behind, one is F, the other one's F Place. People on F be calling for Sheriff's Department. They show up at my house all during the time of the night, 3-4 times a week. I talk to Payne about it. It don't go nowhere. My next step, Bradshaw. The fire department, I have to give them credit. They come. I says, behind me, all during the night. They come. They will go over there. Sheriff Department looks at me. We was called here. That's it. They leave. One of these days, they're going to be some shooting over here, and they're going to come to my house and break my door down. I'm in the middle of the night. I don't answer it. And these people here needs help. I talked to the chief of the fire department. He understood. They still come into my house. This is the first Monday Sheriff Department came to my house. And, you know, this is safety. When you talk to Payne, you call him on the phone, I'm in Palm Beach. I'm here. He sends the sergeant. The sergeant sat in my living room and talked to the dispatcher and says, where did it come? Oh, it came from F Place. What's the telephone number? I had to show him my phones. Came from F. This was at 9 o'clock in the morning, and 3 o'clock, they finally showed at my house, and we talked. There was a disturbance over there. There was like a fight between a husband and wife. From 9 to 3 o'clock, no response. What happened if somebody got hurt there? But one thing about it, the fire rescue, they do when I tell them behind me. We need to bring this dispatcher back to Belle Glade, not West Palm, where somebody knows what the streets are, and it's that and the other, because F and F Place, it's got the same addresses.
Captain, can you get with the gentleman after the meeting and discuss that issue? I can go out with him right now. Okay, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Kelly.
Our last public comment is from Ransford Jones.
Welcome, Mr. Jones.
Thank you. Mayor, commissioners, on behalf of Okeechobee Lodge 54 and the brothers, where y'all stand, we would like to say thank you for your generous contribution that you donated for our kids going to Orlando for Grand Session. Various workshops went on there. Mental health, as Ms. Ifield stated, development of skills that teens need, and it gives them an opportunity to leave the area and see, another area. So, me as worshipful master, I wanted to make it my business to come tonight to thank you and your team as well. Also, the city manager, thank you. So, that was very helpful to us, especially with, everybody know the economic thing that we got going on. So, from us to you guys, and as well as the city of Belle Glade, we want to say thank you. Also, I think that brings me to my next point. Is there anything that we can do about the Lawrence Schuler Bridge that is adjacent to Lakeshore Middle School? Because you see the paint peeling, bridge needs some refurbishments. Yes. And I know I spoke with you at Afro Art some years ago about that.
I think that's one of the appropriation requests we have in plan now.
Okay.
Mr. Max, you can share with them that pedestrian bridge got some work to be done, and I think I indicated to you, once we get the appropriation, we can clean it up and make that announcement at that time.
Okay.
And I stand on that today. We just want to get the repairs on that bridge.
Yep, because I wanted to discuss that because everybody, quite sure older members in here remember W.C. Taylor. And he had a Boy Scout troop. Mm-hmm. And he used to take those boys and they used to go up underneath the bridge to see his name because back, of course, in those times, it was a different time and a different day. They didn't acknowledge him by putting his name on the bridge. They put it under the bridge. So that's why it brings concern to us.
Yes. But we are trying to get the appropriation for it, whether through the governor or through Washington. Somebody's going to have to give us a yes or no answer. But we are on that. I can give you that, okay?
All right.
Thank you for, let's give these guys a big hand.
Thank you.
Good job, babies.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank y'all for taking care of our kids. Okay?
Mayor and Commissioners, would you like to entertain one more?
Yes, go ahead.
William Likely?
Yes. Go ahead.
Good evening. How you doing?
Good evening.
Everyone. Just want to say thank you. We had a great event, Easter event. We came a couple months ago and asked for help from the city. And you guys provided the help. And with the help you provided, city recreation, everyone that was involved from the city, Public Works, played a major role in making a success of over 3,000 people over at Las Palmas.
Wow.
Great night. Everyone enjoyed themselves. Everyone came out, had a great time, and everyone went home. Everyone went home safe. We want to say thanks, Palm Beach County Sheriff Department as well for your help. Just want to say thank you in helping us in the community.
We want to say thank you to you. Y'all give him a big hand. Listen, my colleagues, we said this a month ago, you're bringing flavor to this community. The
Yeah.
young folks as well as those who want to be young, they're enjoying their opportunities.
Well,
And
thank-
that's important to our community. So we want to thank you for doing that. One more big time, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. That concludes that. Let's move on. Before we get to commissioner's comments, we're gonna open up to the president for your closing comments at this time. Madam President.
Good evening. My name is Kyra Ransom. I am a seventh grade pre-law student from Lakeshore Middle School. To Honorable Mayor Steve Wilson, Vice Mayor Almazan, the Commissioners Collins and Dr. Reese. Last but not least, with much respect, City Manager Mr. Harrell. There is much work to do, and I feel assured that you all will work together to get it done. It is my distinct honor and privilege to sit among you tonight and to witness this memorable occasion. On behalf of the Lakeshore Middle School pre-law students, our instructor and coordinator, Dr. Wilhelmina Jacobs, we say thank you for this privilege. We are also extending an invitation to each of you to come and visit our class and travel with us on field trips too. We have entered into a new year, new national administration, and a new president. I challenge this commission tonight to not lose focus, but to keep taking care of business here in Belle Glade. The citizens and the children are still counting and depending on each of you. It is said that we are the future, and I beg the difference. We are the present. I wish you all a productive meeting tonight with God's blessings. Mayor, Commission, City Manager, and City Attorney, and citizens of Belle Glade. Let's move forward together. With God, all things are possible if we only believe.
What we talking about, y'all? Man, you're awesome. You're awesome. She gonna want to be a lawyer, y'all, so. You know, this is what makes us why we do what we do. It's people like this. You know, it's all about the gratification. When people are looking at what we do, it reflects what they're gonna do. And with that, we say thank you again.
Thank you.
All right, Commissioner Reese, you've been recognized for closing comments.
Once again, thank you so very much for coming out this evening. I think we really had a productive afternoon from our noise and our chicken noticing workshops to this regular meeting. It really has been very productive, and it was productive because of your presence and your input. So again, I just encourage you to continue to come, continue to be involved with our community. Look forward to seeing all of you for American Cleanup Day. And again, once again, thank you so very much for being here tonight, and wish you blessings.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Reese. Commissioner Collins, you've been recognized for closing comments.
Good evening again. I just want to say thank you to everyone for coming out tonight. I think we had a wonderful, productive meeting tonight with everything that it entailed. Moving forward, I'm looking forward to working with Ms. Jennifer with conducting maybe some workshops or some gatherings where, excuse me, we could help our youth obtain those driver licenses so they don't get caught driving without any licenses. And then our mental health awareness events that is about to launch next month. Look forward to working with Annie on that mental health and first aid course that will be offered to the community. And just moving forward with next month, just look for great things for Mental Health Awareness Month. And again, I want to say thank you to all of the staff who make things happen. I don't want to call departments because I don't want to leave no one out, but I just want to thank our city manager. You know, anytime we call him and we need something brought forth to help the community, he do not hesitate to say move forward with it. You know, our deputy city clerk, our deputy city manager, Ms. Zatek, awesome, very resourceful. And I mean, Ms. Diana, you know, sometimes we're out on trips and we just have to make phone calls to her with no hesitation. You know, they jump at it. You know, Miss Peggy, we'll be working together on something for this summer for our kids. And our city manager, our city attorney and our captain. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you in your respective places. Good night.
Thank you, Commissioner Collins. Vice Mayor Amazon, you've been recognized.
Yeah, first, I'd like to thank all the residents for coming out and participating with us and engaging with us, giving your ideas and your concerns and your complaints. We really do appreciate it. The noises is a big concern, and also the chickens, we're working on that. I would like to thank our community partners that are here today, the Zetas, the Lodge, Mr. Likely. These partnerships keep our community going, and these events keep it going. We're here to support y'all, and we want to see the Zetas here another 45 years going, and other events for Mr. Likely does for our residents here that, that way at least they don't have to travel. We know they're here in town. Also, the Black Gold Committee Committee, we had a very successful Black Gold event, also very fun, good. We can't do it with our public safety, Palm Beach County Fire Rescue, Palm Beach County Sheriffs, and all our city staff. We're just gonna stay with the manager. He's the captain of our ship. Just thank you for everything that you do and you continue to do. And I wish all of y'all a good night. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Reese, and thank you, Madam President, and thank you, Commissioner Collins and Vice Mayor. And to all of you, I won't repeat what's already been stated, but we're so proud of this community. We're like the band of brothers and sisters where we band together in times when we need it. You guys are coming not only with the problem, but you're coming with the solution. Again, the guys who took those kids, Mr. Likely, and what you're doing to navigate getting these young people involved. I mean, it's a lot that we can say to you guys, how appreciative we are for what you do. I mean, in the next couple of years, I would tell you, we're seeing these young people getting involved in the political arena. We want you guys to be engaged with what we do. This is your government. You're part of it. But don't just come with the problem. Come with the solution, what you're hearing tonight. God bless you all. This is our meeting. You gonna close us out? We finished? All right. Hit the gavel for me. Hit the gavel and then we'll be through. Hit it. Meeting adjourned. Good night, everybody.